Nearly 2 decades after its release, it's impressive that Nintendo's most notorious fighting game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, still has such a big competitive following. The majority of its biggest players and tournaments are in the US, but the UK scene is still going strong, perhaps even growing in regions. The 5th instalment of Air will be taking place in August 2018. It will be the biggest Melee tournament Europe has ever seen, with over 750 attendees, including some of the world's best players. But why are people even playing such an old game to begin with, especially when there are newer titles in the series? When the third Smash Bros. Game, Brawl, was introduced in 2008 for the Wii, anticipation was high. Melee was such a great game, and Brawl was expected to only improve on that. Brawl changed many aspects of the game that made it much less fit for competitive scene. Unlike other fighting games, stage choice plays a pivotal role in a player's success in a set, because each stage has different characteristics and sizes. The cast of Super Smash Bros. Melee includes a wide range of Nintendo's biggest stars. Different characters are seen as more favourable than others in the competitive play. A character's movement, recovery options, hitboxes, weight and fall speed all dictate how strong on paper one character is versus another. While at Merc 2, a UK regional that took place in London, we spoke with Captain Nebula, a tournament organiser.
Alright, so we're here at Merc 2, and I'm here with
Ben, and my tag is Captain Nebula.
And what got you into playing Melee?
Why am I into playing Melee? I played the game since it came out, and I think it's just so unique, and there's just so much that you can learn from it. Like, as you keep playing it, you can just keep learning and keep learning and keep learning, and it never stops. And it's like, it rewards tight execution, it rewards game plan, it has loads of exciting mechanics in it, which sort of balance it out a lot. It has a lot of like the way the game works, like the combos and the height and like the sort of like hype mixed ups and like how that all comes together is just so exciting, and that's why I play it.
And so you're the one of the organisers of today's tournament. And how did you get into organising tournaments?
I sort of feel like for organising tournaments, I've never been like, I want to organise tournaments. I've always just been like, I want to do this, I want to be at this tournament. So like, I did some tournaments at my house with my friends, where I was just like, it would be cool to have all my friends who play Smash in my house in a tournament. Like friends who don't know each other that well necessarily. So I did that, and then like for the weeklies that we do, they sort of like, they've always had TOs for them, but there was one point where it's like, this TO is moving here, would you like to join? And I'm like yes, I can like co-TO this, because I don't really, the thing is I never want to really just be like the guy who runs it. I will if I like absolutely have to, but like,
you want to play, right? You want to play too?
Yeah, I want to play, exactly. That's my like main thing. So like, they said, we need a TO, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy to do that. Like, and then for these tournaments, it's just like, we have this great venue. We do our weeklies at this venue, but it's also so like big and spacious that we're like, we can have a really big tournament here with a really good atmosphere, lots of space.
So I'm here with
Silas, Foul Smile.
And what got you into playing Melee?
I used to play Brawl as a kid, and then I really loved Smash. I played it for years, and then Smash 4 came out, and then through that I met a guy, Boobar, and then we watched the Smash documentary, and then here I am because of that.
Yeah, the Smash documentary got a lot of players involved in 2013, 2014.
Yeah. So for me, it was like late tournament. Yeah, early 2015 probably. Yeah.
And what do you think it is that keeps Melee players playing the game, considering it's so old and there's newer versions of Smash out?
Probably like a lot of it to do is the Smash documentary. Like that was crazy huge, and but also a lot of it is like the tournament hype around it, and it's become more of a thing. Like a lot of universities, they have like social groups for it. It's just become a thing for social.
And what do you think about Nintendo's lack of support for tournaments? As most tournaments are run purely by player support.
I feel like they're getting a lot better. Like they tested it before. They did anything they could to try and like get it off Twitch, off everything. Like they tried to shut down Evo like when it tried to come back in 2012 or 2013 or whatever. And but then because of the so much hate that they spawned because of it, within hours they cancelled that. But yeah, they've definitely gotten a lot better recently. Like they did the Invitational the other day with loads of Melee players and Smash 4 players. Yeah.
What do you think of the new Smash game from what you've seen so far?
It looks awesome. It looks awesome. Yeah. I think it's going to be brilliant. I think like Smash 4 was a bit lackluster. Like they were like kind of along the right lines, but not quite there. But this time they've kind of solidified down a lot. They added a lot of mechanics that are really interesting. Made like just how knockback works like different, and yeah, it looks a lot better.
Just to round things off, what do you see happening for Melee in the next year or so? Do you reckon it will improve its numbers, decline?
I think initially it will slow down as Smash Ultimate comes out, but like what happened with Smash 4, it actually just made it boost even higher. So I think we're going to get a whole new generation of players in, especially, again, that lines up with the new Smash documentary that's coming out, Metagame by Samox. Yeah, I think it will just boost even more, but like it will have a tiny dip. Like no one's not interested in the game, but they're focused on this other game for now, and then like a lot of people switch back.
Nebby, who is ranked number 2 in Netherlands and is Europe's best Yoshi player, travelled over to compete at Merc 2.
Okay, so I'm here with
Avalancer, Nebby. No wait, that's not. My new name is Nebby. I used to be known as Avalancer. I'm the Yoshi guy.
And you did very well today. Won today's tournament. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So how did you get into playing Melee?
Well, I've been playing Melee my whole life pretty much. Like ever since I was 6 years old, and I heard about this one really cool party game where it was described really weirdly to me. It was kind of described like a sandbox game where someone was saying, yeah, you can grab a baseball bat and you can beat up Bowser. I was like, oh, this game sounds amazing. That's how I started playing. And then eventually, like years later, we were just gooning around with Brawl and Melee, and then someone asked me, so are there any tournament scenes, like tournaments of Melee anymore? I was like, no way. There's no way there's people still playing Melee at this point. And 2011, I looked at this one tournament that was 2 hours away, and that's the beginning of everything.
What's the scene like where you live?
Well, I live in Nootdorp, which is like a smaller village out in the realm of The Hague. The Hague scene is it's kind of mild. We have a bunch of net players. We're starting to build up weeklies as well, but I kind of consider the entire south of Holland to be its own kind of scene. Like everyone seems to go to every weekly because the country is just so small. We have weeklies in Utrecht, and we also have weeklies in Amsterdam and The Hague currently. And the ones in Utrecht are very popular and very well populated by good smashers like me and Nukiden, and so other big names also show up like Jim Morrison, famous Fox player, and Goldo. So it's always a blast.
And how do you see the future of Melee changing with Smash 5 coming up?
I don't think it would have too much of an impact because Melee has already endured so many games so far. It just depends how much Nintendo will change it in the future. I mean, it just seems like it's more of a Smash 4 Plus edition. It just has a lot more content with mechanic changes, but it still doesn't quite cater to the audience that Melee is looking for. So I think most people will stick to Melee, although it could end up in more tournaments, more partnerships. It just depends.
All right, so I'm here with
Aaron, or Professor Pro is my game attack.
the current #1 player in the country. So how did you get into Melee? What got you attracted into the competitive scene?
I started out playing with my friends, and then my friend was sneaking off the tournaments by himself without telling me, and he was coming back better each time. And I knew something was going on, and then he eventually told me about the competitive scene. This was about 10 years ago. So then I found Smashballs.com, which is a website where everyone pretty much got together and talked about Smash, and where they had meetups and stuff like that. And then after a while, I ended up attending events. So it pretty much started out from my friend lying and hiding that he was playing competitive Smash.
And then once you started playing, what was it about the game that hooked you in?
The movement and the combos are probably one of the best out of any fighting game in general. So that pretty much captivates the majority of the people who get into the game. So definitely the movement and combos, I would say.
Do you think that's why the game is still going so strong these days? You know, so many years after, it's the movement, the speed. Do you think that's why people still play?
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy because the game's been out for so long, but we still figure out new things, even though we've been playing it for 12 years. So pretty much the community is super grassroots. We have no dev support, so everyone who's here wants to be here and play it. There's no, in a lot of other games, people move on to the next game, but in this game, everyone sticks around. So if you're sticking around, it's obviously for a reason, and everyone loves the game. So
with a steady flow of new players to challenge the old, MLA won't be going anywhere anytime soon.